Hi, my name is Jeff Pagano, and welcome to the Harping on Rugby preview show on our YouTube channel. Please be sure to hit that like and or subscribe button if you can. Joining me to look ahead to Leinster's return to URC action is someone making appearance number 125. Welcome back to Mr. Neil Keego Keegan.
Hello there. As you can see, I've retreated to a safe space to get away from rugby social media for a week. So I'm great that technology allows me to hear you from wherever I am, but hope all is well.
No problem. We'll try to see if we can see out the window afterwards. But listen, before we go on, just your quick thoughts on Ireland's November.
Look, it was tough. It was a learning experience. There's a couple of things. Everyone go and watch the Scrum special on the RT YouTube channel. We don't know what's going on in there. We don't know what's going on in the lineup. We only see the end result. If we said last week or the week before, go watch that. It's a great breakdown of what's been going on. It's been tough. We remember the dark old days of Irish rugby, and everyone has been spoilt for 20 years. So we've just got to relax. The chase to wind people up needs to just chill a little bit. Just to reiterate to our beautiful audience, we don't know better. We have to buy the jerseys. They're given the jerseys based on merit. Start from there. And
you speak for yourself, forward. Mate. I know everything. I have a podcast. I know everything.
There you go. So everyone except for Jeff. It's a tough emotion has to go out the window on this, and we need to just reevaluate. It's not 2 years down the line. We've got to learn. We lost 5 Centurions over the last 12 months. All that real estate needs to be rebuilt. And we're all heartbroken over the Springboks game. Yes, we finished with Leroy D. Moore. That's a given. We're always going to have that. We've just got to find out a way. Like, for example, ordinary level rugby, make the big fellas turn around. It works at J4 level all the way up to the big level. Sam has the boot on it. But when the pressure is on, and there's so much pressure, it's easy for me to say that from the couch with a few beers in me. So everyone just relax. Give the team time to work their way through this. There's a lot of credit in the bank, but just calm down.
Well, I mean, when you compare it to, you go back just, 15 years or so, right? Where we had a disaster of a scrum at Twickenham and got absolutely pasted, right? In those days, if you didn't have a functioning scrum, that's it, you're gone. I think Leinster had a game like that in Bath as well, a Heineken Cup game, where we were losing all the scrums. But now we're at a situation where we were absolutely pulverized. I think every single scrum was a penalty, and we should have gotten a few more cards on top of it as well. But we still, I mean, you can still see a way where we could have won that game. And we were expected to win, we're not expected to win, but we were into the shout of winning. We were competitive going into it. We're now considering ourselves, we should be able to beat the world champions. So that's our mindset. That wasn't our mindset 15 years ago. So like you say, big picture look at things. I think what happens is everyone has pre-opinions, and they look in the games for what justifies those opinions, and instead of actually seeing what's actually happening in the game. But listen, it's unfortunate, but listen, there were positives. We did a video during the week, myself and Keno, so everyone check that out on our feed, where we go over that. We did find a few positives from that November. But listen, let's move on anyway and look at that feature match of the week, which was of course Dragons v Leinster. It's part of round 6 of the 24-25 BKT United Rugby Championship. It's taking place at Rodney Parade in Newport on Friday, November 28th, kicking off at 7:45 p.m. with TV coverage on TG Cahir, Premier Sports 1 and URC.tv. Leinster named their matchday squad at lunchtime on Thursday. If you're watching on YouTube, it should be right there on the screen. For pod listeners, it's in the program notes. Now, Keego has picked out a few points, starting with, we've got a lot to work on.
Yeah, a lot to work on, and there's a lot of pressure on this team now. November hasn't done any province any favors. We'll park that, but we can't get rid of it. We know what the big teams are going to do against Irish teams now. Leinster, we've had a tough start to the season, pretty, below what we should expect start to the season. So there's no fear of that jersey. And, as much as I would love for a home game straight after that November series, this is a real test. In real terms, in real life, in a real season, this may not be as big of a worry as normal. Whereas now, with the way the season has gone in every single jersey related to this country, this is a pressure game. And so when you look at Boyle, McCarthy and Clarkson, strong, youthful. Gus did a great job when he came on in the line out during November. There's a lot of work for those boys to do. And I think they really need to step up and do it. But it's a great start. Good selection, I thought, for the team this weekend, this Friday. Great start to the weekend, but there is a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's a really great lineup. We get to use the phrase Max Deegan All Stars again for one thing. But it is a game where, I mean, I suppose with Leinster having finished top and champions and the Dragons finished bottom last season, we would be looking for 5 points and to pad the points difference. But with the way our season started, we need that anyway, and we do have to go for it. And so the likes of people coming back from Ireland, Jimmy O'Brien going in there, Kieran Frawley going into the center there. Those players are needed. Great to see RG in the second row. I was not expecting that at all. I did with the Springboks. Even if he wasn't involved in Springboks, I thought he might get the weekend off. So that's good to see. But it's a strong team overall as well. That back row, Soroka, Penny, and Deegan have been doing well, even in the games where we might have struggled a bit. And of course, Harry Byrne at 10, he had his performance out in Spain as well. And Finton Gunn backing him up. There's lots to like with that lineup. Anything else about the lineup you notice?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I think these guys will be, not that they would not be hungry going into this post-November game. But again, I'm going to stop saying this after today. After how November went, all of these players are in the shop window again. You know what I mean? Like, Farrell name-checked Harry Byrne, Frawley, a couple others, I can't remember now, players during press conferences over November. So they know that not only are they kind of in the peripheral thinking, after how it went, they are back in the shop window. And you look at, not that JGP or Casey did anything wrong, but Finton Gunn is right there. Very similar almost between the two of those guys. Harry Byrne playing a blinder, went over, led the team in Spain. Larmer, if he hadn't had bad luck, he'd have no luck. All this type of stuff that's creeping in. Anytime we can put pressure on the big jersey is a good time. Soroka, right there in the shop window as well as a couple others in provinces. So, it's not a throwaway game like maybe normal seasons would show. It's a game where, Leinster need to get the ship straight, but a lot of these players can feel now, whether it's injuries to certain players after November or whatever, they can get a start or get a squad place or get a team selection place for the Six Nations. And maybe pre-November, in their minds, they weren't picked and they're going to Spain and all this sort of stuff. Maybe they felt, I'm out of it now. I'm out of it for 2 years. Whereas now they are straight back in. So it's going to be a huge performance from this team. I don't know where this confidence is coming from based on how the seasons has gone. But I'm starting to turn the corner now talking to you, seeing that jersey.
Absolutely. And just two more names that stand out. Jack Boyle, in particular. I mean, he was doing great for Leinster. He was getting an Ireland cap, and he looked like a fast track. Then along comes Paddy McCarthy and straight over him into the Irish team. Now, obviously, that's great for both Leinster and Ireland. For Jack, maybe not so much. It's similar to what happened to Ronan Kelleher. Ronan Kelleher was like, he looked like he nailed down the hooker position, and then along came Dan Sheehan. That's great news for Leinster and Ireland overall, but Jack Boyle will be looking, this is his first chance to get out there and say, hey, listen, guys, don't forget about me. And we've got a young lad making his debut off the bench, Josh Erickson from Skerries RFC, a back rower there. And that's some bench to be on, some experience there. Luke McGrath, Rabah Salmani, and RG Snyman. So that's a great occasion to him. Congratulations to him on his first cap. Okay, now time to have a quick look at the Dragons. After that 16th place finish last season where they conceded an average of 40 points per game and earned just 9 match points in total, they currently sit 15th with 5 points after draws against the Sharks and the Ospreys. What do you make of their lineup, Keego?
I think based on your paragraph describing the Dragons, I don't want to be mean about it. The good second row, good back row, like good, good is as far as that team goes. And I do feel that this is where the blue season turns around. They're going to go for it. There is no fear now, as we've said over the weeks, and they will bank on that for the first 15-20 minutes. This is the game where we have to bring that fear back, that Leinster jitsu back, all that sort of stuff. The Dragons, they're going to go for it. They'll be a bit stubborn. They may be G'd up after that thing that we can't talk about over the last month. But with respect, there's not much there. That should stop Leinster from playing the game.
Yeah, I mean, we're missing obviously our top tier test players, but of course they're missing theirs as well because their guys are actually playing. It's that traditional annual out of window match in Cardiff, which I don't think anybody in Welsh rugby almost wants at this stage, except maybe the WRU. They're missing Ben Carter, Aaron Wainwright, Rio Dyer, Brodie Coughlin, and Chris Coleman to that. And I think Elliot D is injured as well. There's a lot missing from the team. There are some names in there. Angus O'Brien is the captain. Aneurin Owen is a decent centre there. Tinius De Beer at out half, and Matthew Screech in the second row. But still, it's. They rely a lot on their 16th man. They're very angry crowd to help them through on the night. So we'll see how that happens. But I think it's pretty much certain that Leinster will be favourites. Okay,
I would be angry as well if I had the last couple of seasons that they've had. So yeah, pretty I understand that. But go back to your opening paragraph, and that's the pre-match done.
Absolutely. Okay, so the officials, we've got a South African referee, Morn Ferreira, is holding the whistle with Welsh assistants there in the South African TMO. The weather for Newport. Now, we talk about the typical rainy night in Newport. Apparently, there's to be no rain, but it is supposed to be very windy, 26 to 50 kilometers per hour. So the wind could be a factor there. So now it's time for a quick look at the other matches this weekend. There's a full program in round 6 of the URC. Which one caught your eye?
Well, it's always going to be Connacht next. 7:45 Sports Ground on probably a freezing cold Saturday night. It's going to be great. I haven't seen the team or anything yet, but they've had an up and down season, similar to what Leinster need. We need to get a bit of momentum behind Connacht, and sure, why not start this weekend?
Absolutely. And of course, the other matches, you got Ulster playing Benetton at the same time Leinster playing. Munster host the Stormers on Saturday. And also you've got Bulls v Lions, Zebra v Cardiff, and Embra v Ospreys. Okay, back to our feature match. It's head on the block time. How do you see it going in Newport?
It has to go well. And, pressure is for tires, but it's got to be a big score from Leinster. And, 3-4 try win has to be. We can't accept anything less than that this weekend, the way the season's gone. So Leinster by 4 scores.
Yeah, I mean they do have to go for that. It's a question of believing it and playing like it from the start. The Dragons are obviously going to do everything they can to stifle us, as will the crowd, but it's just a question of doing it. I mean, you do. It's a prediction that sounds arrogant, but it's the standards you expect from Leinster. And of course, the week after we're going into the Champions Cup as well, straight into that campaign. So we need to hit the ground running there. So it's very important for several reasons that they do that. So hopefully they'll be able to manage it. Okay, listen, we're going to leave it there. Many thanks for joining us today. What stand-up gigs have you got in the horizon?
So we're going into, after the big shows in the Mill Theatre last weekend, we're going into the Christmas run-in. So two gigs in Mrs. Robinson Comedy Club in Greystones to celebrate our first birthday on the 4th and the 18th of December. And then back in the Mill Theatre to support my friend Dane Frisbee on the 13th, I believe. And then we get into Christmas. And I'm really in training now to break the Spuds record this year. I really feel I have it in me. So we're going to get to in and around 20 Spuds on Christmas. So I'm in full training for that.
Okay, I was wondering what you were going to do with the Spuds for a minute there, but now I get you. Okay, listen, you can find all Keego's relevant links in the program notes. Thank you for joining us again, sir.
Cheers. I will be back down Planet Earth next week.
Brilliant stuff. You in time to check out the new Leia Arena in as it's almost ready in Ballsbridge. Okay, listen, thanks to y'all for checking out our latest preview show. Be sure to enjoy the match wherever you are and look out for that Rap Pod recording on Sunday evening. Hopefully you'll help us out by liking, sharing, and subscribing. In the meantime, stay safe, everyone. Slán.